Good afternoon, people, and welcome back to episode God knows what, because we've done quite a few now of Solihull, You Move Solihull's weekly property roundup. And I'm going to probably say this for the last time, because hopefully you all know who it's hosted by now. That'll be me, Alex Shappage, and my business partner,
Gail Shappage.
Yes, and we are here with some information on the local market, a few facts and figures, a bit of national news, and the most expensive streets, which is no doubt the most exciting bit of this whole programme. So we were yesterday, where, Gail? At the...
We were in Nottingham
Yes.
at the You Move regional meeting, which was very, very exciting, very informative, and it opened up a whole lot of new opportunities and ideas in our tiny little brains about what we can do with the business and how we can make it even better than it's currently going.
Absolutely, yeah. So the whole of head office travel north to south for 3 days every quarter, and they do a super job. So thank you to everyone involved yesterday for making it definitely worthwhile. And as much as we got lots of information on various subjects, one thing that we thought was something that we should be really focusing on now for our business is lettings, and that's because we went into You Move really with a lettings hat on, as that was most of our experience. We've bought and sold lots of properties, but not wearing the estate agent's badge, as it were. We've always been on the other side, on the consumer side. So lettings is something that we've done through our own portfolio, and I keep saying we, but Gail predominantly. She could say predominantly. I'm still trying to hang in there somehow, but she manages the portfolio, and Gail's very experienced in that sense, and so it makes sense for us to put it out there that we are looking for landlords or people who know landlords who are perhaps struggling with managing their own properties, if that's what they're doing, or they're frustrated with their current letting agents.
Or maybe you've just been landed a property and you don't really quite know where to start and you're looking for some advice.
Absolutely. Yes, and we say this because we were working with letting agents prior to self-managing, and were very disappointed with the service that we received, and we found that we were almost micromanaging the letting agents to do their job as we would expect it to be done. So it gets to that point where you're thinking, well, we might just as well do it ourselves. And we've well, I don't know. It's been quite a learning curve, hasn't it? Wouldn't you say? You've got more information on this than me.
It's a people business ultimately. So you're needing to kind of satisfy the needs and anxieties of the landlord and making sure they're comfortable with the situation and the tenants you are looking after. You need to be speaking to the tenants and ensuring that they're completely aware of their responsibilities. We ourselves have a portfolio of HMOs, so that's, for those who don't know, it's lots of individual tenancies within one property.
Well, not always, but in our instances.
In our instances it is. So we are looking after both tenants and landlord, and it is a people's business, as well as really you need to be really hot on your compliance, and you need to know what you need to be done on a monthly, annual basis. And you need to have a good relationship with your local authority too, because usually they are key in your success. So we, after our meeting yesterday, we kind of thought, well, one of our major strengths is in lettings, and so far all our social media output has been targeted towards buyers and sellers mainly. So we thought we'd do a shout out to landlords within Solihull. So whether you are just being presented with a property due to inheritance or due to family circumstances and you're not quite sure what to do, or you are, like Alex said, possibly already renting a property through an agent and aren't quite satisfied with the service, or just looking to start shopping around and maybe have informal chats with other people that could provide a similar or better service, then kind of get in touch with us and maybe we can help you.
Absolutely, and we're going to move on to our usual part of the show now for you all who are hanging on there by a thread, just desperate to know these figures in Solihull, in our postcodes, not the whole of Solihull, because there might be a few agents going out there jumping on Same database that we are. Going, hang on, that's incorrect. So only
Yeah.
within UMove's operational postcodes, UMove Solihull, I should say.
Which is B90, B91, B92, and B94.
Not all of B90.
Not all of
but this is where
B90.
it gets, complicated. But
But
I
just
don't
to
need
give
to
you
know
a
that.
heads up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, available stock, 614, and that was compared to 632 last week, so
Yeah.
we're slightly down.
Yeah, and this week in terms of new instructions, we've had 26. That's a little bit lower as well than the 35 we had last week.
It's quite a bit lower.
Oh, it is, but it's still good.
Yeah. Price reductions, the same exactly as the past week. So we've got 21, and I should have said as well at the start, this is all from Rightmove. All the information here is from Rightmove database.
Yeah, and properties that have been sat on the market for 12 weeks or more. Last week we had 611, if I can read Alex's writing, but this week it's 614. So a couple more sticky properties. We wonder why.
Average time on the market, there has been, there are 192 properties now, gosh.
Decided coffee.
Doesn't
yeah.
make sense. So 192 days for the properties this week versus 184 days for those properties last week.
Yeah, which is really quite a lot. Yeah, especially for those movers. If you've got somewhere you want to move to and you've seen your ideal property, that's a long time to be still on the market, not having your property sold.
It is. It's a lot higher than they say the average should be if it is priced correctly and the agent is doing an adequate, never mind a fantastic job. So 66 days is the average if all the criteria is perfect and ideal surrounding the property. So there's quite a stark comparison for you.
And the juicy parts for this roundup, as always, is the most expensive property. And this week we are looking at the, is it B94 area?
B92.
Oh, B92, apologies. So B92 this week. And the property...
Most expensive streets.
Most expensive streets. So we're looking at the Crescent, which is just being sold around the £1.5 million mark. It is a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom property. And if you have a little gander on Rightmove, it looks fairly lovely as it is, yeah.
And the second most expensive, we have actually, you might find that there are perhaps one or possibly two which are more expensive, but we've already mentioned those because these properties have moved sold subject to contract, so we don't know the exact price. And it takes a little bit of time obviously for conveyancing, so we're giving you the most expensive properties that we haven't yet mentioned. And the next one is on Hob Lane, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms for somewhere in the region of £1.35 million. That is all from UMove Solihull, and we will see you very soon next week for another property roundup. Goodbye from me and
Goodbye from me.